Hello, my name is Pastor Sandra Hedrick, and I'm the pastor of Kirkwood Presbyterian Church in Jacksonville, Florida. And it is my honor to share with you the message that I shared this morning with the gathered congregation on our Zoom worship. It was inspired by chapter 16 of the book of Exodus, which tells about God raining down manna from heaven to the people of God when they were worried about being hungry out in the wilderness, after God had delivered them from slavery in Egypt. Now, change produces anxiety. Really, any kind of change. It could be good change. It could be terrible change. When God delivered the Israelites from slavery in Egypt, it was a very big change. I don't think they meant to sound so grumpy when they complained to Moses and Aaron so bitterly about not having enough to eat. I think it came out of their anxiety and their fear. And all of a sudden, they were having to learn new habits, a new way to live, a new way in this new normal. And so they were grumpy and afraid. And when we're in the midst of a big change, that is how it is. But God understood their emotions and cared about their hunger and cared deeply and sent quail into the field for them to eat and rained manna down from heaven. Manna that was delicious, could be made into something that tasted like honey cakes. Now the Lord sent instructions with the daily bread. Everyone take the amount you need. Don't take any more. And fix your recipes that evening, that day. Don't save some of the manna for cooking the next day. That way everyone will have enough and nothing will go to waste. Well, some of the people probably did exactly what God said, but others did not and saved a little bit for in the morning, kind of like hoarding, and it turned out that the manna did not last and it did not smell good in the morning and it had worms in it. Well, the manna needed a rhythm. They needed a rhythm to enjoying the manna, and so God set up a rhythm of providing just enough for one day and having people learn to take just enough for one day. And God did the same thing with the gift of rest. On the sixth day, the people could gather twice as much, and the manna would have a shelf life of 2 days and be enjoyed for 2 days so that the people could rest. But of course, some people couldn't resist. They went out on the day of rest looking for manna, perhaps to hoard for their family or maybe even to barter with later, but there was nothing there. And eventually the Lord coaxed the people into learning. God will provide. Their manna will be enough. Enough is plenty. And there was plenty for 40 years. Now we've been going through, it's an understatement, a change in our lives. Even the new normal is something we don't really understand yet, and we are having to learn new ways. And one way people are responding, or especially near the beginning, is by hoarding, like the people of God did in the wilderness. And toilet paper, meat, cleaning materials. I can't tell you how many extra cans of tuna fish I bought in those first days out of my anxiety, not to mention dried beans and canned beans that I will probably never use up. So it's good news, and I'm excited to share it, that during any time of change, when we look forward and we don't look back, the Lord knows our needs, and the Lord will provide enough and is providing enough. And we can trust that. We can relax. We can take only what we need. We can be wise about it. We don't have to be anxious, whether it is food or something else. But there is something in this story that's even more important than having enough for yourself, and that is making sure that everyone has enough. It is God's intention that everyone have enough. In the story of the manna, God said, take only enough for you so that everyone will have enough and it will not go to waste. For a lot of different reasons, some people don't have enough. We may feel we have enough, but others do not. And it could be because of hardship, of tragedy, of systemic injustice. It could be because of health reasons or losing employment. And these and many more things try to interfere with God's plan for all people to have enough. But it says in the Bible over and over, from beginning to end, to share so that we will all have enough. It says when John the Baptist began preaching, he would say, whoever has 2 coats, share with someone who has only one. Same with food. Isaiah, the prophet, said the same thing. He said, share your food with the hungry and clothe the naked. When the Christian church first began, it shows in the book of Acts that they shared everything. They appointed deacons to bring food to widows and orphans so that everyone would have enough, and enough is plenty. Jesus said, when you share your food with someone in need, it is just like sharing it with me. When you share with someone who doesn't have enough, God is providing. God ensures through you that everyone will have enough. Jesus is speaking in Matthew 25 about sharing as if we're sharing with him. And this means that we follow Matthew 25 in our lives, and our congregation has become a Matthew 25 congregation of the Presbyterian Church USA, so that we can be more intentional about sharing, about caring about systemic injustice, about addressing poverty in our own city. So we are supporting, again, the food ministry and the clothing ministry of the Downtown Ecumenical Services Council, which is also called DESC, in our local community. We are focusing mainly on food right now because there is need for food in Jacksonville, and DESC has just been able to open back up and share food again with those who most need it. So think about collecting your manna, which would mean you going to the grocery store, or you making your order on Amazon or Instacart or curbside at Target or Walmart, and to get what you need that is just enough, and to get enough to share with someone else. We'll be collecting non-perishable food, diapers, and formula, and in a very soon time, we'll be bringing those to the church to be collected and given to DESC so that they can then be distributed and shared with the people with the greatest need. So God set up a formula in this chapter 16 of Exodus. And I want you to think about that formula as you contribute to our collection for DESC and in your life. And the formula goes like this. God provides, we receive, we share, and then we rest. And then we repeat. God will provide, we will receive enough, we will share, and we will repeat. God will provide, we receive enough, we share, we rest, repeat. To God be the glory. I am so thankful that we have enough, and that enough is plenty, and that we have the opportunity to share as disciples of Christ. Amen.